Alright, welcome to my home slot car channel, and it's actually home slot car setup video number 22. I wanted to get in updates and some running of some cars, but it looks like I'm going to hold off on running the cars because I got a few updates to go over and some information, and I might run one car real quick to show you till I do a running video. So first of all, let's talk about a few things. As you can see over here, I have that Sunoco sign. I believe I had it in our last video. Not the final position. Like I said before, I like to place things here and there and look at them. And I got a couple more towers I'm building, so I got to wait to build a couple more. I got that 4 floodlight blinking red light tower, which is huge, which I believe I'm going to put right about there. I also got the Pepsi Cola sign coming up from Magnetic Racing that's lit up, so I got to find a place for that. And I got a couple Red Bull totems. One I'm almost complete, I'm working on. So while we're looking this way, if you noticed, I got a new addition there, which is called the Terren House. And let me move around a little bit. And I'm pretty sure that's the final position for it right there, although I'll be taking it out a couple times. I got to put some barriers behind that to protect the buildings, more realistic. I also got to put lighting on that house. I got to put interior lighting and maybe a light over each door, front and back. And also I got to drill a hole in the table to run the wires. So yeah, I'll be taking the house out of there once or two more times, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the final position. And of course, all the scenery to go with it. I never finished the gravel, walkways, dirt, flowers. In the backyard, I'm planning on doing a little vegetable garden, cornfield, where my possessed scarecrow is going to come into play. Also, I don't know if I had it in the last video. I think I did, but I don't know if I had it lit up. And if I did, I probably didn't have the lift in it. So let me zoom in on this as much as I can. And you can see the garage is lit up, the service station. And if you look in that side window, you can see my orange Mustang up on a lift. Now let me walk around this way here and see if we can get a better view of it if I don't fall down. See if I can zoom in. I don't have my big lens on here, so you can see the car in there, and maybe you can make out it's on a lift. So that's that there. So other than that, like I've been mentioning before, the start of the helipad. Now I picked up the rest of the wood I need to complete it, and I've got the office container by Magnetic Racing at home, primed, ready to put together, and all I gotta do is paint some red crosses on it, then figure out a layout depending on the size of it. But I got a pretty good layout for it in my head. Also, I'm thinking some custom work on it for lighting. I think what I'm going to do is, rather than doing like flashing lights and stuff, I think I'm going to do another cutout cross on the landing pad and do another lit up cross like I did in my sign right here, but much bigger. So it'll be lit up, facing up for the helicopter to land on. Speaking of which, lo and behold, I wasn't kidding around. So this is the helicopter I chose, which, if you look according to the cards, pretty well in scale. Alright? I'd say so. That's pretty good in scale right there. Now, what I like about this helicopter here, obviously I might have to do a little work to it, put some red crosses on it. And I'm not sure about the blue on it. It looks more like a state police helicopter, but maybe I'll convert that over to red. I have to see if that's painted or stick it on. But nevertheless, the reason why I chose this helicopter is pretty cool, because this helicopter right here has a one-button takeoff, a one-button landing, and automatic hovering. So what I'm hoping for is, while I'm running my cars, I can press that one button, and while running my cars on video, she takes off to a certain height, undetermined yet, hovers there, then one button will land it back down, all while I'm running my cars on video. That's what I'm hoping for, and that's what it seems I understand from the instructions. Alright, so now, a few other things going on. I got two new cars in, and 3 more coming in. So, we'll get to the first one. First one I got in was this beautiful car right here. Alright. Which is, I believe, a representation of like a 1970 Camaro. It's a pretty nice one. The only thing I noticed about it, looked like somebody put some quick slicks or some kind of aftermarket rear tires on it. And I'll tell you what, this car is probably my best running car. You know, I always say that white Charger goes like hell, and that new one, Super Slot, goes pretty good. Wait until you see this one go. I can't even get this from the brake loose. This thing is like a spider on the track. It's unbelievable. Actually, I'd have to say it's my best car for the track. I might have to start a new category. Instead of saying my new favorite, I might just have to say my best running cars or something like that. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, I got in this one here, which is a beauty. Looks beautiful. Right? Mercedes. Now, the only problem with this is when I got it, it wouldn't run for crap. And when I mean for crap, I mean I couldn't even get 12 inches out of it. And not really in the description. So come to find out, upon looking at it, she's missing 2. I replaced 1. I just gotta look for another one. It was missing 2 out of the 6 chassis screws. Missing the magnet. And I'm not 100% sure if these are the stock rims or not. But they actually have set screws in the rims. So I'm not too familiar with set screws in a stock rim and being plastic. So I'm not 100% sure about that. But what it looks like to me is somebody tried to tweak this car, obviously, pulling out the magnet. But what they did was, I think they widened the stance by moving the rims out, which caused more of the tire to be on the wheel wells. So it looks to me like they tried to improve it, but in my opinion, they ruined it. But there's nothing that's not reversible, so I'm definitely gonna reverse engineer this car back to the way it was, see how it goes on the track, then see if I gotta tune it from there. But as of right now, I mean, I spent about a half an hour on it playing around with it, and I finally can get it going around the track about as good as my Ninco Porsche. So I gotta feather it around. She has wicked, not torque steer, but since the spur gear is on the driver's side, it seems like when I gas it, this car wants to go down the track, pulling to the right like this. So that's not too good. So that's something I got to work on. Now, another thing I want to talk about is one thing that saved my rear end a couple times. I never mentioned it before, but back in the day, when I was first into this, I subscribed to this magazine here, which is Model Car Racing. Alright, and back then, I'm talking, I think I let my subscription run out somewhere around, I'm thinking 07, maybe 06, somewhere around there. And sometime shortly after that, a few years after that, they went digital. But back then it was like a $35 magazine shipped from the UK, which was a lot of money for a magazine back then. And as far as I know today, there's only one magazine still being published, and that's in the UK. You can get it in the United States, because definitely I looked it up, but to get it here as a subscription, it's about $100 subscription. So it's not anything that I'm really interested in for $100. But talking about these magazines, let me show you something. So first of all, if you remember me talking about the Revos, especially the Slotcars, always had trouble finding tires for them. Because you know, tires are sketchy. You look them up on eBay, online, go to the companies, Quick Slicks, this and that. Some of the tires are listed pretty correctly, like, yeah, this is for the F1 so-and-so, the Scale Electrics F1, but some of them are not. Some say Mustang, it'll fit Mustang and Cougar. Well, I bought some, it fit the Mustang, but did not fit the Cougar. So it just goes to show it's hard buying the tires. I'm sure some of you are good at it, and some of you got problems. That being said, getting back to this magazine, lo and behold, I bought some back issues. I still buy the back issues on these. I got a place I can buy them. And look what I see in here. So you got a whole article about the exact car I was having problems with, right there. And what I'm getting at is, this magazine always had a spec sheet. So it gives me the exact size of the tires, the motor that's in it, whether or not it had magnets, and it's a good reference. So with this here, it gave me the reference to the exact tires I needed for those stock cars. The Revo monogram. And so that being said, getting back to this car, is lo and behold, after I bought this car here and having the problems with it, I thought back a little bit and I remember seeing it in one of my magazines. So I go back and here's the exact car that I just picked up. And lo and behold, I determined, yes, it did have 6 screws. And looking at the pictures, the rims are set in pretty close to the chassis and not as much play as on mine. So obviously the guy tweaked this out a little bit. So what I'm getting at is these magazines are a good reference to fall back on. Especially when you get the old issues. They cover the Scale Electrics and everything. They have all the specs you need. And that's what I like about using them as a reference. Other than that, like I said, I'm going to get this thing back to the way it was stock. I had to order some magnets. I had no spares. It is missing the magnet. And get one more chassis screw in it. And lo and behold, I can't find an Allen laying around my house small enough to adjust those rims. But as soon as I look at the store or order one online, I'm definitely going to adjust them. Another thing I was thinking is, if he did change the rims on this, maybe they're not quite the perfect fit because the axle's too long. And I'm thinking, worst case scenario, if I have to shorten the axle, that's something I can do too, to suck in those rims just a little bit more. And I'm pretty sure they're stock tires, but once again, I'm not 100% sure. They look like it according to the picture. Once again, good to have that book for a reference. So, I've been rambling on a little bit, probably repeating myself. So you saw the helicopter, you saw this, you saw that. So I think that's going to be about it for tonight. You know what? If I can just get this to go around, I don't know if I can follow it. Let me see. I just want to show you this Camaro because it's amazing. Well, that time went off. Alright. Kind of hard to drive with a camera in my hand, especially this big bulky thing. Hang on a minute. Now that car is lightning fast, and I'll get it on video another day, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, definitely this week. I am driving with my left hand, but believe me, I can get this thing going faster than that, holding the track. No fishtailing, no nothing. Whoever picked out those tires for that car, they hit the mark, because I believe that's all they did to it, is just put tires on it, and that car is unbelievable. So that being said, let's end the video here, and we'll get back to a running video in the next day or two. And I got a lot of work in progress. I got a lot of open projects on this track, so I just have to crack down, get it done, and go from there. Thanks for watching. What are we, like 13 days away from Christmas? 14 days, something like that, getting damn close. So everybody stay safe, keep your eyes open on the road, stay frosty. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you all.